Welcome back to Melodic Memories of Lights Monarch. I'm Casey, and happy Men's Mental Health, Black Veil Brides, and Pride Month to all of you. Happy celebrations to whatever you celebrate. I'm sure there are many other things celebrated this month, and if there are and I'm just being ignorant towards them, let me know at Lights Monarch on all of my socials, but there have been a lot of things that have happened in this past week recently, and I know my last episode was a bit of a shorter one, as I didn't have the time to record as long as I wanted to, and I definitely glanced over some things, and even made a slight clown of myself, thinking something was coming when it definitely wasn't, but let's start with the AMAs, because out of all the things that happened last week, that's what happened on the Monday. Now, this year left quite a lot to be desired, but I made some quick notes here while I watched the show itself, and my thoughts towards it, which weren't many, but here it goes. It started with the show. It opened up with J-Lo, and she danced to a song with the lyrics, "I Wanna Dance Again." I'm not sure her music, so I don't know what song it was, but she ended up putting on a VR headset, which honestly kind of made her look a little bit like Daft Punk, which I don't know if that was the vibe they were going for. It was very futuristic and electronic kind of vibe, but the music itself wasn't. It was weird. But they did say music was to be the main focus in tonight's show, which was awesome to hear, even if that wasn't exactly the case. They did have a good balance though as the show went on, but J-Lo, she ended up dancing to a bunch of songs that were nominated for this year, some being from Kendrick, Doechii, Shaboozey, Posty, Chappelle Roan, Billie Eilish, Beyonce, Benson Boone, Teddy Swims, Lady Gaga, Bruno Mars, Sabrina Carpenter, Charlie XCX, etc., etc. I could probably go on, but even though it was a very intricate dance with her T-posing afterwards, I'm not sure exactly why she did that, or she was trying to represent Jesus on the cross. I don't know if the music show would get that biblical, but fuck, who knows. Weird thing about that whole intro dance sequence, she didn't dance to any Taylor Swift. Now I know Taylor Swift is huge, she's massive, I get it. But this is a reoccurring theme for the entire night. Her song was not in that list of songs that she danced to, that J-Lo did, and I'm not sure why, because again, it was a recurring theme throughout the entire night. So I'll get to that when I'm done here. Anyways, Jennifer Lopez, she is the host of the night, and it was in Vegas, and it ended up being the largest fan-voted award show, as they've gotten more votes than ever before, which honestly is incredibly hard to believe, because I feel like back in the day people voted more when it was actually on TV and considered to be an actual event. Now it just seems like something that's on the back burner. Maybe I'm just wrong because I'm out of touch, who knows, but realistically in my mind it wasn't that extravagant, but maybe I'm just wrong. I don't mean to downplay, maybe I'm just wrong. Anyways, it was announced that Janet Jackson will have her first performance in 7 years on the show, and it went off to Tiffany Hash. She's a comedian, I guess, because she announced, after an awful joke, just didn't hit at all, for me at least, she ended up announcing the favorite R&B song. The winner for that was SZA with her song Saturn. She was very grateful, and it was her first supposed time at the award show. So, hell yeah, congrats to SZA. It wasn't her only award for the night, but congrats to her. And it then moved on to Blake Shelton giving his first ever AMA performance with "It's a Lifestyle, Not a Livin'." At least I think that's the name of the song. It had lyrics that said that, and in the song he also said, "I'ma stay country or die trying." Very much pro-people, very pro-American and country. A salute and point to his ribbon to end it off. As a part of what I missed to say in the beginning, it's Memorial Day for Americans on the day that this came out, on the day that it aired, and they were very patriotic through the entire show. This is something I didn't really touch on in my notes too much, because I'm Canadian through and through, and personally, respect to them and respecting their veterans and everything towards all of that. They were very patriotic to their country and to the people that fought to make it their country. Very touching and heartwarming. Next up, it went to Wayne Brady and Jordan Childs or Childs, don't know how to pronounce the name, but they presented the next award, Favorite Female Latin Artist, and the winner was Becky G. Don't know her much, again, just kind of saying what they were because they were very much focusing on R&B and Latin music this award show, which fair if that is the most popular music that is going around nowadays. I am out of touch in that case, but I just kind of wanted to say it as it's kind of something that follows suit throughout the entire show. Now, mind you, Becky G, I don't know who she is. I know her name, but congrats to her, because then after the win, it went to Benson Boone, his performance at the AMAs. He sang Mystical Magical, I think that's the name of the song, or at least the lyrics of it, and he did a front flip down the stairs to the front row, walked into the crowd, and wore a purple psychedelic outfit. Honestly, a solid performance, as I think I've always seen him do, so congrats Benson Boone for performing. Don't think he won anything, could be wrong, but congrats all the same. Then David Guetta gets called out by J-Lo, with love, mind you. And Nikki Glace, do not age, she says, as she presents the award for the new Artist of the Year. And it goes to Gracie Abrams. Woo! That's awesome. Honestly, okay, I know I'm not the biggest Gracie stan. I'm not necessarily a part of the Gracies, but I can say I do love her album, the most recent one that she released. And personally, I think she deserves it. I know she's not exactly a brand new artist, but she is new to the mainstream. And the fact that she is who she is, and Taylor Swift supports her, she supports her back. I mean, she seems like a solid girl. I don't know her at all, personally, so don't take my word for it. But from what she presents from the outside looking in, I would have to say she deserves it. And especially if just basing it off her music alone, she deserves the Best New Artist award. At least in my opinion, I wasn't disappointed. She's on the road, so she sent a video message to accept the award. She was deeply honored and was very nice to the other artists. Very happy with her fans, and the award goes out to them. The light that exists out there, this belongs to you. She was very, very sweet in all the things that she said, and to her fan base, she was very thankful. Seems to be a very nice girl. Then Dan and Shay and Steve, the Marine, introduced Lainey Wilson to perform. Very old school country sounding voice. I don't know her very well, but she reminded me of Reba. Not gonna lie, that was the name that came to my mind when I heard her sing. And she sang a song which I can only assume to be called Somewhere Over the Rainbow, because I think I've heard it before. I don't really know the song itself. I don't listen to her much. Even maybe once on the radio, maybe. But all the same, she did a good job. Solid performance, if not slightly shaky. But who am I to say? No judgment here. And she was wearing an all-white fit with a cowboy hat and a cape. Honestly, kind of badass. Next up was a TikTok star and Twitch streamer. Didn't get their names, but they presented the award for Favorite Female R&B Artist. Winner was SZA again, 2 times at this point. She thanks the fans, parents, friends, and all of camp. Lots of love to spread. Then we got a flashback to Gwen Stefani winning in 2005, which then transitioned into Blake Shelton introducing Gwen Stefani herself to perform a throwback performance. Her sitting in a white dress in Hay was one step ahead of the pain and I Want You Here. She rips the dress off and to transition into the great/sweet escape onto a clean rendition of Holla Back Girl with band uniform on. It was an okay performance, but she definitely was showing her age. Very fun though, just you can tell she is no longer in her prime. She did good for what it was. Next up, J-Lo introduced Janet Jackson for her performance. Again, it was her first performance anywhere on TV in 7 years. Control, man. The crowd went wild, as expected. A reason she's winning the Icon Award, no? Heavy lip sync, though. I gotta say, she was also showing her age and kind of gave me the vibe that she wasn't actually performing. But she's a legend. Icon Award time for her, and she won it right afterwards. Very heartfelt and humble. Dream wasn't to be famous. Always had a special love for music, dancing, and singing, and hard work and dedication grew this. She goes on to say it's an American story that could have only happened in America, and then continued to be very patriotic and also very thankful for the position she's in. After the award was given to her, Zac Brown accepted the Veterans Voice Award on Memorial Day. Again, very patriotic, a lot of things. He just kind of gave it to them, was very appreciative and very honored to be accepted as the winner for the award. And then Jake Shane was next up to announce Renee Rapp as the next performer. Real bad girl, but a real good kisser was the lyric that stood out for that one. I think she was a TikTok artist. I'm not really sure. She's not exactly my style, but still, she performed and looked like she had fun doing it. I'm not really sure. It wasn't my vibe. But then Heidi Klum. I knew I recognized her, so I had to look her up. I'm pretty sure it's this girl. She presented the favorite male hip-hop artist, and the winner was none other than Eminem. Hello, he won. He won. Eminem won. He sent a video as a response. He said it was 23 years since his first AMA when he was 24. And he thanks the fans. Honestly, incredibly humble man. Eminem, an absolute legend. Crazy he won. So happy. I voted for him. I'm glad he fucking pushed through. Hell yeah, Eminem. Good job. Then it was back to J-Lo to introduce Gloria Stefan to perform. Then Megan Maroney and Shabuzi announced favorite country duo or group AMA, and the winner for that was Dan and Shay. Much love and thanks they gave to the fans. Then Sierra was next up to announce Alex Warren to perform Ordinary. Shout out to my friend Ashley as she showed me the song originally. Also, apparently it's the Love is Blind song, and I guess that's where she heard it. So, he smashed it. Absolutely smashed it live, even with the few stuttered moments. Honestly, it was crazy. He got a standing ovation. It was very, very impressive to see. Congrats, Alan Warren, on the performance. Next up, John Baptiste announces Artist of the Year, the big award for the night. And the award goes to Billie Eilish. She was on tour in Europe. She sent a video thank you. And it seemed to be very by the book, but she was grateful. And obviously, I'm going to touch on that Artist of the Year thing in a moment, because then it moved to Becky G's performance, and then Sir Rod Stewart, who was introduced by his family for this Lifetime Achievement Award, a proclaimed true rock star, apparently, a lovely video looking back at his life. 8 kids. He had no idea that they were there either, and they were on stage introducing him. So his career started in the early 60s. He had the ambition to sing, and that's it. Not to be famous, not to get anywhere with it, just to sing and for people to hear. And he thanks everyone and caps it off with a forever young performance. And honestly, the old boy still has it, though the girls, his backing band, really stole the show. He kind of stood there and watched them perform for most of it, and he can't hit the notes he used to be able to, but can you blame him? The man, he's old, he's a legend. Congrats, Sir Rod Stewart. Hell yeah. Then, it was honestly the end of the show. The credits rolled. I didn't realize the show was ending then. I kind of assumed, but I was like, there's no way. It was one, felt a little too short. And 2, felt like it was missing something. Or a lot of something. Like, again, it just wasn't as captivating or as flashy as the past ones have been. And honestly, it was overall a very forgettable award show, but decent in its own right. And again, let me get the clown paint. As I said in my last episode, I need to get it ready because Taylor didn't announce Rep TV, which I'll get into more in a bit, as it also pertains to the whole Artist of the Year and everything like that, and a little bit more. But to go into the awards that were announced after the show itself, as again, not many of the awards seem to be televised, I'll read them off here and keep focus on the ones I'm a little more biased towards. Though, if you want and are interested in the entire full list, because it is a long one, you can find it on the American Music Awards website itself, as there were a lot of artists that won different awards, and ones that I won't be touching on here, just because, again, I either don't listen to the music, don't know the artist, either or, whatever it be. I just want to focus on the ones that I want to share with you all. And again, you can find the entire list on the American Music Awards website itself, the AMAs.com. No affiliation, no sponsor, just, again, giving you guys the info so you can look at it yourself too. And First, as soon as you get to the website, it says Artist of the Year winner was Billie Eilish. I wanted to touch on this a little bit more because, again, it was a little bit strange. Now, the nominees were Ariana Grande, Chappelle Roan, Kendrick Lamar, Morgan Wallen, Post Malone, Sabrina Carpenter, SZA, Zach Bryan, and none other than Taylor Swift. And mind you, you could hear the crowd chanting and screaming and cheering for all of these different artists as they were saying their name when they were introducing them as nominees. Now, to be honest, the weirdest thing about it, and the reason why I'm kind of talking about it, is because Taylor Swift, when her name was announced as a nominee for the Artist of the Year award, it was completely silent. And I was looking on Twitter as to why, because it's Taylor Swift. There's no way it would be completely silent. And it kind of touches on how I mentioned in the beginning of the show when J-Lo was dancing, there was no Taylor Swift music included. Apparently they muted the crowd for Taylor Swift and only her. I know she wasn't at the award show, or at least they didn't show her at the award show, but when her name was announced, it was silent. And I don't think it was actually silent. I think the mute was on purpose, and I will get into it in but a moment because I have, again, this whole list to look through and tell you guys about, but just rubbed me the wrong way, and looking on Twitter afterwards seemed to rub everyone the wrong way as well, especially people that were there that can attest to saying the crowd was very loud for Taylor Swift. And it seems like there might have been something going on in the shadows there. Anyways, new artist of the year we know went to Gracie Abrams over Benson Boone, Chappelle Roan, Shaboozey, Teddy Swims, and Tommy Richmond. Then album of the year went to Billie Eilish, Hit Me Hard and Soft, over Beyonce, Cowboy Carter, Chappelle Roan, The Rise and Fall of a Midwest Princess, Gracie Abrams, The Secret of Us, Charlie XCX Brat, Future and Metro Boomin, We Don't Trust You, Kendrick Lamar with GNX, Sabrina Carpenter, Short and Sweet, and Post Malone, F1 Trillion, not to mention Taylor Swift's own The Tortured Poets Department. Then Song of the Year, winner was Birds of a Feather by Billie Eilish, one of the many awards that she actually won. Then Collaboration of the Year, Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars, Die With a Smile. Social Song of the Year, Doechii with Anxiety. Favorite touring artist went to Billie Eilish over Taylor Swift and Luke Combs and Morgan Wallen and Zach Bryan. That surprised me. How did she win that over Taylor Swift? I'm not here to shit on Billie Eilish. Please don't get me wrong. I do enjoy Billie Eilish. I have a playlist of all of her music. I have all of her albums on vinyl. I do enjoy it. But the fact that she was able to win over Taylor, I know it's either I know it's a fan-voted award, so her fans must be more dedicated in this sense. Maybe the Swifties were asleep. But honestly, just wows me for the fact that the Eras Tour was what it was, and Billie still beat her over it. Kind of mad, to be honest. Then favorite music video goes to Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars with Die With a Smile. Then favorite male pop artist, Bruno Mars. Favorite female pop artist, Billie Eilish. Favorite pop album, Billie Eilish. Favorite pop song, Billie Eilish. Can you see it starting? Favorite male country artist went to Post Malone. Favorite female country artist, Beyonce. Favorite country duo or group, Dan and Shay. Favorite country album, Beyonce, Cowboy Carter. Favorite country song, Post Malone featuring Morgan Wallen, I Had Some Help. Favorite male hip-hop artist, Eminem. Favorite female hip-hop artist, Megan Thee Stallion. Favorite hip-hop album, Eminem, The Death of Slim Shady, Coup de Grace, hell yeah. Favorite hip-hop song, Kendrick Lamar, Not Like Us, as it should be. Favorite male R&B artist went to The Weeknd, and the female R&B artist went to SZA. Favorite R&B album, The Weeknd, Hurry Up Tomorrow. Favorite R&B song, as we know, is SZA with Saturn. To skip ahead a little bit here, because again, I don't know Latin music or much R&B. I see Shakira won for Soltera, favorite Latin song. Hell yeah, Shakira. But this, as I'm scrolling, this here, favorite rock artist, the nominees were Hozier, Linkin Park, Pearl Jam, Zach Bryan, and 21 Pilots. Well, guess who won? 21 Pilots! Yes, you are correct. If you guessed that, you are correct. 21 Pilots won not only favorite rock artist, but also both awards they were nominated for, the second being favorite rock album for Clancy, against people like Hozier, Ko Wetzel, the Marias, and Zach Bryan. 21 Pilots, our boys, the Pilots, they won their awards. So happy about that. So, to know it was the reason the AMAs were redeemed in my mind, because not only did they win that, but further on in the list, which I will get to here, but I might as well kind of say it right now that I'm talking about it, their other song, The Line, was in an album that won as well, which will be on this list. So favorite rock song went to Linkin Park, The Emptiness Machine. Hell yeah. Favorite dance electronic artist, Lady Gaga. And this is what I was talking about. Favorite soundtrack right here went to Arcane League of Legends Season 2. Hell yeah. 21 Pilots representation off the charts this year. It makes me incredibly happy. And honestly, I am a huge 21 Pilots fan. There is no denying that, and everyone listening to my rambles already knows. But fuck, I'm so happy that they were able to win. I'm so happy that the boys got the representation that they deserve, because at the end of the day, these awards are fan voted, and the fact that they kept getting overlooked time and time again, especially this year with Clancy, just straight up being not nominated, straight up being forgotten, any of the cases that have happened, they were actually nominated and won. With all rights. Fucking rights. They should have won. They should have won a lot of other awards. As I said, they were snubbed at the Grammys. They've been snubbed at a lot of other award shows, if not just straight up forgotten. And I know that they themselves artistically do not care about the awards. They love that they win them because of us, but they don't care about us voting for them, if that makes any sense. They're very humble. That's not why they make music. They don't make music to win the awards. They make music to connect with us and to express themselves and put the art into the world to make it a place that they want to live in. I love them and their philosophy towards music. It is very inspiring. And the fact that they were able to win, not in an award that is judged by a bunch of judges on a panel, but by us, the fans, the clique, the group, the banditos. We got them there. We pushed them past the point of no return, if you will, and got them to win. And I'm so happy about that. And I needed to kind of go off about that because it made me really happy. And the only thing that made me maybe a little bit sad was the thing regarding Taylor Swift. Now, that marks the whole award show. And I just want to say, it's absolutely wild to think that Taylor Swift herself was snubbed, as it's supposed to be a fan-voted award show, as I just said. Honestly, us Swifties must have been slacking, unless the slight rumors of the show itself being rigged are actually true. Now, I don't want to give this conspiracy too much light of day, but people were saying, on Twitter and on socials, all the same, that the crowd was muted for when they said Taylor Swift's name during the announcement of Artist of the Year. And I know I mentioned it, but it's said that the judges can actually make the final call on who actually wins said award. And with the head guy that runs the AMAs, no idea what his name is, but from what I read, he's a huge MAGA supporter. And again, I say this all with a grain of salt. I don't know the actual details, the fine lines. I'm not sure, but from what I've seen online and what I'm relaying to you guys, if it is misinformation, please call me out. But all signs point to it being a very huge possibility that it might have been rigged against at least Taylor Swift, at the very least. Now, no disrespect to all the artists that did win. And if this conspiracy isn't true, then that is definitely for the best, but I can't lie and say it doesn't hold some weight from when I was watching it and from what I've seen. So here's hoping that's not the case. I know Taylor Swift didn't bring home any wins, and if that is just because the Swifties were asleep and not as active as the Billie Eilish fans, that's fine. Completely fine. It's just I hope that is the case and not the other way around. I really don't like the thought of it being, yo, you voted for this artist, but because we don't agree with them and their views or don't like them, we're not going to let them win. That just feels wrong, straight up, through and through. And, I mean, I'll leave it alone if I'm wrong, but if that is true, that's very wrong in itself. I will take the win of Linkin Park winning their award, and again, 21 Pilots winning theirs, and Arcane winning the soundtrack award. But if this comes out to be true, I'm sorry, but that whole award show kind of is tainted. I know 21 Pilots, if that wasn't messed with at all, hell yeah. That still counts. That is still valid. That is still amazing. Same for all the other awards. But it would be a huge shame if it came out that there was any sort of wrongdoings, especially towards Taylor Swift. Because she, I know, isn't everyone's cup of tea, but she is one of the biggest artists in the world. And I'm a personal fan. To be honest, it would be really upsetting. Anyways, on a little bit of a happier note, to get out of the dumps of that, and to keep it on the topic of Taylor Swift, some huge news came out just this past Friday, May 30th, when she posted herself photos of her sitting with her holding her old albums with the caption, "You belong with me," with all of the colored hearts representing all of the different eras, and then saying "letter on my site" with a smiley face. Now, before I tell you what it is and what the announcement was, let me read said letter to you all, as I feel it's right to do such a momentous moment justice. You know, in order to do it the justice it so deserves, it's only fair to read out the whole letter. Now, the letter reads as such. Hi, I'm trying to gather my thoughts into something coherent, but right now, my mind is just a slideshow. A flashback sequence of all the times I daydreamed about, wished for, and pined away for a chance to get to tell you this news. All the times I was this close, reaching out for it, only for it to fall through. I almost stopped thinking it could ever happen after 20 years of having the carrot dangled and then yanked away. But that's all in the past now. I've been bursting into tears of joy at random intervals ever since I found out that this is really happening. I really get to say these words. All of the music I've ever made now belongs to me. And all of my music videos, and all the concert films, the album art, the photography, the unreleased songs, the memories, the magic, the madness, every single era, my entire life's work. To say this is my greatest dream come true is actually being pretty reserved about it. To my fans, you know how important this has been to me. So much so that I meticulously re-recorded and released 4 of my albums, calling them Taylor's version. The passionate support you showed these albums, and the success story you turned the Eras Tour into, is why I was able to buy back my music. I can't thank you enough for helping to reunite me with this art that I have dedicated my life to, but have never owned until now. All I've ever wanted was the opportunity to work hard enough to be able to one day purchase my music outright with no strings attached, no partnership, with full autonomy. I will be forever grateful to everyone at Shamrock Capital for being the first people to ever offer this to me. The way they've handled every interaction we've had has been honest, fair, and respectful. This was a business deal to them, but I really felt like they saw it for what it was to me. My memories and my sweat and my handwriting and my decades of dreams, I am endlessly thankful. My first tattoo might just be a huge shamrock in the middle of my forehead. I know. What about Rep TV? Full transparency. I haven't even re-recorded a quarter of it. The Reputation album was so specific to that time in my life, and I kept hitting a stopping point when I tried to remake it. All that defiance, that longing to be understood while feeling purposely misunderstood. That desperate hope, that shame-born snarl and mischief. To be perfectly honest, it's the one album in those first 6 that I thought couldn't be improved upon by redoing it. Not the music or photos or videos, so I kept putting it off. There will be a time, if you're into the idea, for the unreleased vault tracks from that album to hatch. I've already completely re-recorded my entire debut album, and I really love how it sounds now. Those 2 albums can still have their moments to re-emerge when the time is right, if that would be something you guys would be excited about. But if it happens, it won't be from a place of sadness and longing for what I wish I could have. It will just be a celebration now. I'm extremely heartened by the conversations the saga has reignited within my industry among artists and fans. Every time a new artist tells me they negotiated to own their master recordings in their record contract because of this fight, I'm reminded of how important it was for all of this to happen. Thank you for being curious about something that used to be thought of as too industry-centric for broad discussion. You'll never know how much it means to me that you cared. Every single bit of it counted and ended us up here. Thanks to you and your goodwill, teamwork, and encouragement, the best things that have ever been mine finally actually are. Elated and amazed, Taylor. Now, that was, again, a very long message, and Taylor Swift, she owns her catalog of music now. Now, for those that aren't Swifties or don't even know, a little bit of backstory, just high level. Taylor Swift had to re-record her albums, got the idea to re-record her albums from Kelly Clarkson, because Taylor Swift wanted to own her music. She wanted to own the masters for her music because she didn't. Her record label, Scooter Braun specifically, were kind of undermining her, or definitely undermining her, not even kind of, I don't even want to downplay it, just screwing her over, and ended up selling the music, the rights to her music, right out from under her. And now she finally was able to buy them back. And the reason why she was doing the Taylor versions of all of her albums, the past ones anyways, was because she wanted to own the art that she created. And for those that don't know, that was the art that was stolen from her. And now she doesn't have to finish the re-recordings. I'm sure she will, as she said. Debut is already done, and Reputation will at least get the vault tracks at some point when the time is right, but it's so fitting. Thinking about it makes me want to choke up a little bit, because this is something that means a lot to her, and not only just to her, but artists in general. Like, this has got to, if you think about it in the broader spectrum, the broader sense, this honestly has to make a change. This will inspire the industry to change. And for the artists that are making this amazing art, her included, to own their music, if they care. If they don't, then they don't, whatever. But some artists that do care and put their whole heart and soul into what they make, it's for this. It's for moments like this. And she was actually able to come full circle with our help, with the Swifties' help, in supporting the Taylor's versions of the albums and supporting the Eras tour and pushing her to be way bigger than she ever was and ever thought she could have been. We pushed her to this point to be able to get the opportunity to buy her old music back, and the fact that it actually happened, I'm so happy for her. And so happy as a fan to be able to go back and relive these old albums, ones that I haven't heard in years upon years, because I haven't been streaming the non-Taylor versions. I was one of those Swifties. I was making sure to not stream non-Taylor's versions, to make sure only stream whatever she actually owned and only buy what she actually owns, just to prove a point, to have a statement. I know she doesn't need my money. I get it. She's Taylor Swift. She has a lot of money on her own. But I would rather give it to her, somebody that has the artistic integrity and care for the arts, than some record label that did nothing and just shit on her time and time again because she was either just a woman, too unhinged, whatever they wanted to call her. Whatever way they wanted to demean her and undermine her. I'm just happy that she finally is able to give them the middle finger and celebrate with art that she made herself ever since she was a child. Because literally, they're from her diary, some of those songs, especially the old ones. Now, those that don't like Taylor Swift, fair enough. But you cannot deny that this is a huge moment, and it's one that I'm very happy about. And Taylor Swift, I know you're not listening to this, but congratulations. Because holy hell, what a moment to be had. Absolutely crazy. And honestly, this past week, since it was announced, I guess not a week yet, but this past while, I've been listening to Taylor Swift again, like I said, going through her old stuff, and it's so cool to just hear her sound way younger and way softer, and the twang though. Oh, it's beautiful. It's amazing. I'm having a great time going back through her stuff, and anybody that loves Taylor Swift, I hope you're enjoying it as well. And if you don't like Taylor Swift, give her a shot. I know she's not for everybody, but Folklore, that would be the album that I would recommend if you're at all interested in checking out Taylor Swift. Now, to continue on a little bit and transition a little bit, as that in itself is incredibly exciting, we're not quite done yet. And honestly, I saved this last thing for last because I'm very intrigued, very curious, and it is still something that is currently building as we speak. So, let me say, I have no idea what they're planning, and I have no idea what exactly is going to be going on or what's going to happen next, but 21 Pilots, they've continued being cryptic, and as I'm recording this today, they even posted more shit, and I truly think this is only the beginning. The beginning of the end, if you will, as we are building up to their first single from Breach, being The Contract, which comes out again June 12th. The album itself comes out sometime in September, which we do believe will be September 5th, mind you. We don't know for sure, but 21 Pilots. Holy, and again, this is why I leave this for the end, because it is so cryptic, it is so wild, it is so all over the place. I don't know what's going on, and I've been a fan of theirs for about 11 years, like running on that long. Like it's been a while. So, 21 Pilots, they released their new single The Contract on June 12th, as I said, and they have been active on their socials. But not only that, Blurryface, yeah, Blurryface himself has been active and posting as well. So, this kind of all started with Blurryface's video on May 29th, 2025, where it was a very dark video that had a bunch of clips snipped together, and it would kind of flicker through them. And there was a muffled voice, I'm assuming, as we are all assuming is Blurryface, if not Clancy himself, saying it to mock Blurryface. We don't know. We have no idea. All we know is that Clancy and Blurryface, they are currently fighting, and being that they are in the same body as Blurryface is probably trying to seize Clancy, as we know at the end of Paladin Strait, which is where we currently are in terms of the lore. It's very intriguing as the words that were said, which again are very muffled and hard to make out, but what we were able to make out, it says, "I check the doors, check the windows, and pull the blinds," said 5 times, and each time it's said is faster. Then, to jump ahead, I would touch on that, but there's more because there's been more days that have passed. The next one that was posted was on the 30th, where he also said, I check the clock, wondering what he will do this time, wondering what he will do this time. And again, another video of the same kind of video. Nothing different in that department. It was all in black and white, all very cryptic, all very scary, eerie, just that kind of vibe. It's something dark. And with what they're saying makes you wonder, because is it a warning? Is it a threat? Is it something else entirely? We don't know. Because today, June 2nd, the Monday, as this is posted and recorded, breaking the fourth wall here, but it was a new video, this time all in red, posted by Blurryface, and later posted in black and white by the band's account themselves, which brings you to wonder even more so, did Blurryface take the color red back, as that's why Clancy was originally wearing red instead of the yellow tape, just to prove a point and mock them and say that red is our color now. Deal with it, you know? But I'm getting ahead of myself. The video itself that they posted today, both accounts, was the exact same voice, but this time saying something else, and what it said was, I have a feeling that the necromancer is outside, and I have to stay quiet. That's what I got from it anyways. And again, absolutely wild that after that, the band posted on their own Instagram the exact same thing. Only this time it was all in black and white, and it was posted to their Instagram story, which is now deleted, so you can't even see it. So that's the thing with Blurryface. He definitely keeps on deleting these posts that keep getting posted, and I don't know if that's a way of him saying or getting defeated or just being cryptic. Again, Blurryface has always done that. But they also posted something to Instagram, 21 Pilots themselves, and these ones were in color, mind you. These photos were in color. They posted the photo at the very end of that Blurryface clip was a picture of Clancy, or Tyler Joseph, holding the mic with the Clancy belt, or sash, if you will, covering his eyes, and him wearing the mask that he took from the FPE event that he wore originally for Doubt. The one that is all over the place for the new Doubt demo version. So it's that picture, and it has a red hue over top of it all, like a red filter. And that was posted along with two other photos of Tyler himself, and it's all blurry, very shaky. So obviously makes you wonder, Blurryface, is that you? With the caption, mind you, it says all lowercase, stay quiet. Is that Clancy talking to us and telling the Banditos, stay quiet, we'll tell you when it's your time to rise up, to make that softest echo for us to break through? What if we're loud now and the wrong one breaks through? What if we get Nico to break through? Because technically, Nico, if you dive in deep, and mind you, apologies for those that don't know, I am in the process of making a lore video so everyone can understand, for those that don't know anyways. But in my mind, it makes me wonder, because Blurryface is the same as Clancy. Clancy, Blurryface, all the bishops, they have the same powers. And that is why Clancy himself can seize others, just as the bishops do. So it makes me wonder that if it works that way, where Clancy can use the same powers that the bishops have, at least for what we know, does that mean that the bishops can also break through, as Clancy has tried to time and time again? And that also leads me down to Paladin Straight. It's something that I noticed just slightly while listening to it the last time I did, because I was going from Trench into Clancy back to back, and I don't know why I didn't notice it. This might be something that other people have noticed already, but I needed to share because it made me like, holy shit. Gave me a holy shit moment. Now, in Trench, there is the song called Bandito, and in the song Bandito, he says, "This is the sound we make when stuck in between two places, the place where we bleed and the place where our blood needs to be." Now, there is a bit of a filter on his voice in Bandito, a very kind of different... obviously, it's production techniques, but it sounds a very certain particular way. And in taking it in the literal sense, and that's the sound we make when stuck in between two places, and he goes on further to say that he needs the softest echo to break through, meaning where he's talking is in that point of no return, be it the line, Paladin Straight, whatever you want to call it, whatever its name actually is, that place. At the end of Paladin Straight, after the empty noise with nothing but birds and nature sounds, his voice has that same tone. Like he is singing to us from that same place, the point of no return. And that is when he sees Nico. And I know that they are very upfront about it lyrically in Paladin Straight, that he says, even though he's past the point of no return, he still sees Nico and the Banditos fighting and everything like that. It just really hit me like a bag of bricks when I was listening to it that time of, holy shit. That's right in front of my face this entire time, and I didn't even notice. And the filter to the voice goes away the moment Nico rushes Clancy, grabs him by the throat, and says, "So few, so proud, so emotional. Hello, Clancy." Now, absolute shivers. Honestly, absolute shivers. And that isn't even, this is all just scratching the surface, because there was also other posts, like this all started with them posting two different versions of the same kind of photos. Not the exact same photos, mind you, don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to be that guy, but there were similar photos from the Clancy tour, one set being all in blue and then the next being all in red. And then the same day that that first video posted, they ended up posting a video on the band's profile itself saying our new song, The Contract, will be here in 2 weeks, and it had Josh and Tyler, and it actually gave us the proper look, not just like some live video version of it, but a proper recorded look at Clancy not acknowledging Josh and not taking the jumpsuit, his coat, his Clancy jacket from him. Like, I remember that being a huge moment, and they posted it in this video, and as the video went further, there was some noise, sounded like it could be from the new song, The Contract, and apparently was also the Torchbearers theme. Oh my god. It was at the very end, and we got to know that it was new footage because Clancy has his Clancy tape on his shoulders, and he has his little, what's thought to be a bird leash, or falcon, whatever kind of leash that he's got on his belt. And also, on top of it all, it seems to be brand new footage. Or at least footage that we, as an audience, have not seen. And again, the blurry face videos, I will mention, just to say it, that first video where he says the thing about the windows, the doors, and to pull the blinds. And, oh my god, on Facebook, they posted the photos. They posted photos on the official Facebook account of 21 Pilots of Clancy in different looks, but all looking very scared and staying very cryptic with the captions all in caps. All in caps from what Blurryface was saying. So it's going back and forth. We don't know who is in charge right now. If it is Blurry, if it is Clancy, if it is Torchbearer trying to warn the Banditos and make these videos in black and white to say, hey, it is actually me, it's not Blurry. We don't know. And again, to anyone that isn't a part of the fan base, this might sound insane. But for the fellow Banditos out there that I might know that are hearing this, that I don't even know exist, this is it. We are building up to what is coming next. And I'm sure I could go on and on and on, but this episode is already long enough. I'm going to end it here and just say, for certainty, there's a lot to come. I think we're just getting into the thick of things because there has been a lot. And I'm probably even forgetting to even mention something, as today, not only were the videos posted, but also 21 Pilots themselves posted a new photo of Clancy with the Clancy sash over his eyes and wearing the mask just from a side view, all with a red hue in it. And mind you, that one photo that I mentioned was a direct head-on of his face with the same sash over his eyes. Seems to be the same silhouette as the album artwork itself. Absolutely wild, absolutely crazy. It probably sounds like nonsense, and for that I apologize. But for those that understand, again, absolutely wild. It seems like we are getting into the thick of things here. And honestly, I think we're only beginning towards the end. I'm so curious. I'm so excited. And I cannot wait for June 12th, man. I cannot wait because it's going to be insane. Honestly. I could say more. Again, there is more to say, and there's a lot of lore towards 21 Pilots. And again, I do plan on making a lore-related video to them. All the same, a lore-related podcast, be it a video, a podcast episode, I don't even know yet. But something is in the works because this is huge, and I am so excited. And I wanted to say, last thoughts on it, I promise, that all of this, if Blurryface is mocking us, it could be a warning, or it could even be lyrics from the song itself. I'm not sure. But it does look dark, deep, and rich with lore. And for that, I cannot wait. I'm so excited, and if it's more Trench adjacent in terms of its storytelling and depth, and you know what, even if it's not, I'm ready. I cannot wait. Regardless of what this is, it's going to be the end, whether people are happy or disappointed with it, whether I like it or hate it. I don't know, and I don't care. Regardless, I'm ready, and I'm here, and I honestly, this band, they've had me for the past 10, 11 years, and honestly, I've never felt more prepared or ready for something. 21 Pilots, bring it. Give it to me and bring it, honestly. At least we know Breach is the end, and we have to remember what was said in Trench, that we'll win, but not everyone will get out. East is up, and stay quiet. 21 Pilots, can't wait. Now, the last little bit of this episode I wanted to touch on, since I forgot to last week and felt bad about it because it is something I enjoy doing. I wanted to share some new releases that came out recently with all of you guys. So I'm just going to run them off right now and be very quick about it. Again, You Should See Me Now by Neck Deep. It's a new single, very good. All the Way Down, Dance Gavin Dance, which is a new single from their upcoming album. Give Me a Break featuring Waterparks by Michael Clifford. Obviously, Waterparks, love them. Back to Life by Hinder, brand new album. First one in a long time. Wild that they're back. Different sound, but very cool that they're back all the same. New singer compared to the old one, obviously. Make Me Disappear by Dark Divine, new single from them. Cliché by MGK, new single from him. The Marshall Mathers LP, 25th Anniversary, new 25th Anniversary album from Eminem himself. Violent Nature by I Prevail, new single without the emo boy. No more sad emo boy, just heavy, angry metal man. Very different vibe, shocked me to no end to hear that, but good all the same. Then, for more recent releases, All That I Remember by the Amity Affliction. Fuck yeah, they got a new singer. The guy from Kingdom of Giants. Honestly, wild that they picked him after I just seen them live, but not a bad song. Not the exact same vibe as I was hoping for, but all the same, they still killed it. They did great. And I'm excited to see where they go from here, especially with the new singer, because the new singer is the clean vocalist, so we'll see how this goes. Then, Lonely God, by Fit for a King, from their upcoming album, which releases, I believe, August 1st of 2025. Fact check me if you would like, but very good. I cannot wait for that. I love their music, at least what I've heard of them. I don't know them very well, but I've seen them live once, and they killed it. Then, Rust by The Living Tombstone, their new record. It is now out for all to enjoy. I enjoyed it quite a bit myself. I'll have to say 01 was my preferred album of the two, and I think Logan, who is the one that introduced me to them, can probably say the same. But still good overall. And the last thing I wanted to say, not a new release by any means, but something that was just kind of fitting and nice for me to notice, was These Two Windows by Alec Benjamin turned 5 years old this past week, and I thought that was something to be celebrated. It was the same day that Blurryface started going insane for 21 Pilots, but again, I've already rambled on about that, and I know I could forever more, but I'll save that for its very own episode to really dive in deep, probably sometime after the contract itself is out, and when that episode posts, you'll know. It'll be straightforward with the title. But all the same, that's all that I wanted to touch upon to end off the episode. Thank you so much for listening, and if you want to reach out to me again, it's at Lights Monarch on all socials. Hit me up. Don't be afraid. Reach out. I love to chat about music, about literally anything, really, because the Oilers, they're going to be playing for the Stanley Cup as well soon. Like, hello? What a month it is already beginning to be. It's Pride Month, it's Mental Health Month, it's Black Veil Month, it's 21 Pilots Release Month, it's so many things. It's summer, and I am so here for it, and I hope you all are as well. So thanks for listening, thanks for enjoying my rambles, and thank you for discovering the music within.